I have another Synology, model number DS412 Plus that came in. This time it has Ethernet issues. So customer says faulty network ports. When I plug it in, it turns on. One thing we'll notice on the back is that my Ethernet lights are not lighting up. So let's open it up and find out what's going on. All right, looking at the Ethernet ports right here, we can tell that they go straight to these two chips. We'll look at it under the microscope. If we follow the traces over here, they go under this port, but we can tell they go this way, over here, then down here, and then to this chip right here. So looking at it, I see a little bubble here, and if we zoom in all the way, it's actually a burn spot. I believe this chip is actually burnt. And if we look at both of these, they are identical chips and they have the same layouts for the components. So let's do some resistance checks. We have this little capacitor over here and it's measuring 70 ohms, which seems kind of low. Check out the equivalent over here. And we have 3.3 kilo ohms. That's obviously an issue. This one is 76 kilo ohms, 77. If we compare it to this one, 74. Okay, that's not too far off. Because I'm seeing this little burn spot and this one is measuring 70 ohms versus this one, we're going to want to do a replacement. I'm going to be using my hot air. Actually, I forgot to put flux. While my board is still hot, I'm going to go ahead and remove the extra solder with my desolder wick. And now just a little cleanup. Alright, let's do one more check with our multimeter in resistance mode. Alright, and it is no longer a short. It looks like it's open, which is fine because we don't have a chip in circuit, but at least it means we got rid of the short. I'm going to be putting some solder paste on our bottom pad. I'm going to do a little heat assist here, just to, there we go. If it's too cold, it's not very malleable. A lot easier to spread once it's warm. Alright, and this is our replacement chip. And I'm not too worried about our alignment right now because it'll probably settle into place once we solder it on, or it'll probably shift a little bit, so we'll have to make some adjustment, I believe, in a bit. Yeah, and I just saw it shift a little bit right now. So I think the solder is molten right now. Just gonna do an extra couple seconds to be sure. And that'll do it. I'm gonna add a little bit more flux. And I'm not doing a super perfect job right now, and that's okay. We'll come back in a minute and clean it up. I just want to get some solder on most of the joints right now. Now I have the microscope at a little bit of an angle, just so you have a better viewpoint on what I'm doing. And I'm just going to clean up those joints now. I did just hit the board with a little more hot air just to help me preheat it, since I'm not using a bottom heat. The reason I did that is because the soldering iron tip I'm using is very thin, very small, and it doesn't transfer much heat because of that. So the hot air assist helps big time. Alright, and that looks good. We're going to do a final cleanup. So we're going to do one final check on our capacitors. this one was the good one. I just want to recheck it, see if it has a different reading. 3.2 kilo ohms. I think that was about what we had. And then this one over here, also 3.3 kilo ohms. Okay, which we had the 70 before, 70 ohms. So we definitely have done something good here. Let's go ahead and power it on and see what we get. All right, so we're plugged in. I'm not gonna be putting the whole thing back in the case. Let's power it up. We get our blue lights. Let's feel if these are getting hot. They're not getting hot. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in the Ethernet. And I have my lights. We did not have this little light here before. So it looks like we may have fixed it. I'm gonna wait for it to stop initializing here. Once it's done initializing, I'm gonna try and find it on the network to confirm everything's good. Well, it's trying to connect, but it's not going to because we don't have a disk. I don't have a disk in there, but it is finding it, DS412 Plus, and it wasn't before. All right, we'll go ahead and put everything back together and ship it back to the customer. If you have a Synology device that is defective and you'd like to send it in, we'll have links down in the description below. If you want to watch more content on Synology repairs, check out this video over here next. Otherwise, leave us a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.